Alright, Tom, I had the chauffeur bring around WALL-E. As you can see, WALL-E is painted in forest green, John Deere green, and you can see I cleaned up under here and painted all that stuff. All the black is POR 15 paint. Expensive stuff, but does a really good job. And as you can see, I redid the inside here. There's my new gas feed. My foot was too big for that old gas feed. That's a gearhead gas feed for a hot rod. Stuck that in there. And there's the seat I made in the back. I bought marine grade vinyl, and I had some foam on hand, so I covered that up. And moving on around, of course, there's the battery, and that's a different battery box than the one that was on there. And the fenders are green, and I put new tires on the back. The ones that were on there were different sizes, and the rims are Chevrolet gunmetal gray is what I painted the rims with. And here's the back end. Those are Sportster shocks that I got off of eBay and stuck on there. And the chrome cat's eye tail lights, they're from Custom Chrome, which I'm sure you know that company. And everything again is painted with the POR 15. All the grease fittings are all cleaned out and working and all that now. And of course I got the special WALL-E license plate there, the good, wonderful Commonwealth of Virginia. And we did the raised letter Cushman in the same green. Thought about doing it in chrome, but my wife wouldn't let me. And of course I took the gas tank off and cleaned it out pretty good and got it cleaned, and I think that tank holds about 7 gallons, so it's a pretty good sized tank. And I had to put a new master cylinder in. The master cylinder was just shot, and I put a couple of new rubbers on the brake and clutch pedal. And the emergency brake, I kind of scrapped that. I never could get it to work. Cable was just really in bad shape, and don't really need it anyway. And the dash looks really good, even though none of the gauges work at the moment. But all the light switches, this turns on the auxiliary lights, which are up front there, and the other one turns on the headlights. And the horn does work. That's about the only thing that's working up there. And cleaned everything up under here and painted all that with the POR 15 paint too. Put new universal joints in. I don't know if you can see that. While I had it all apart and had the transmission out, I went ahead and did that, so those should be good to go. And there's the transmission. So far so good, and I don't have any leaks anywhere. Nothing coming out of the rear end, and everything's looking good with all that. And I put some little things on the shifter so we'd know what gear, where they are. Went ahead and did that, cleaned all this up, and I used a piano hinge for the seat, and I also put that piece of metal you gave me. I put that back there, just kind of a heat shield, and cleaned the motor up and did the pipes with the high temp paint, and I found engine shrouds and put as many of them as I could back on, which really helps. There's one in the front and one on either side. Keeps leaves and everything blowing up, and also cools the engine a little better. And also, while I was under here, I mounted a 9-inch automotive 12-volt fan there. Just provide a little extra cooling, and just in a second here I'll turn that sucker on. And it puts out a lot of air, so if I were... Hold on. So if I were sitting idling for a while, I could kick that thing on and cool the engine off, just a little extra touch. And why WALL-E was smoking a lot, there was no intake on the air cleaner box. So I rigged this up, and I put a rubber insert in there, and then ran a piece of flexible hose which runs down underneath and then comes up back here, and I put a little screen there. So that's my little snorkel, you know, if I have to run through the river or something, that'll keep water from going up in the carb. Just kidding. So while we're here, I'm going to hit the starter and see if this thing will fire up. How about that? So it's running pretty good. Of course, I had to clean the carburetor out, had a lot of gunk in it, but it's running pretty good and sits there and idles. It's real smooth. I need to turn the idle down just a hair. I got in a little fast. So here we go. This is in low range. First gear in low range. Second gear in low range. And this is third gear in low range. Okay, I'm going to shift over to high range here. Now we want to do a little run up the road here. We'll see what WALL-E will do. This is first gear, high range. Second gear, high range. Third gear, high range. I don't have a GPS with me. I don't know how fast we're going, but I think we got to be doing at least 30 or 35. Probably a little bit more down this hill. Up into second, up into third. Yee-haw! This is my neighbor's house. If you can see that or not, but here we go. Woo! Whoa, WALL-E, whoa, WALL-E. All right, Tom. This is WALL-E's temporary garage out here. It's a pipe rack with a camper shell over top of it. Custom made just for WALL-E's size. I've got another tarp ordered. Plus it's a drive-through garage. I can drive right on out there. Nice little shelter for WALL-E. I got him a battery tender over there in the corner, keep his battery all fresh. So I'm going to shut down here and go in and eat some leftover turkey.